Yes, indeed. B Marsh Boxing back at it with another live stream. This my prediction for this fight we got coming up. WBO super middleweight title on the line, held by Gilberto Ramirez, 38 and 0, 25 KOs. He's going to be facing Jesse Hart. I believe Jesse Hart is 25 and 1, 21 KOs. Okay. Now this is a rematch, ladies and gents. The first fight was a very good fight. Gilberto Ramirez won that fight on points. All right. Now I'm looking forward to this fight. Matter of fact, it's the best fight in my opinion for this cannoli weekend we got coming up. And I'm saying I'm not looking forward to cannoli Rocky Feldon. I'm not looking forward to anything really this weekend as far as boxing is concerned, except for Gilberto Ramirez and Jesse Hart. I believe this fight will either be on ESPN or ESPN Plus, top ranked promotion. Now, I see this fight going. I like Jesse Hart, man. It's a Philadelphia fighter. I've always loved Philadelphia fighters. You know what I mean? Philadelphia fighters have a long history, from Philadelphia Jack O'Brien um, to the guys, the vicious middleweights in the '70s, Eugene Cyclone Hart, fucking Benny Briscoe. You know what I mean? Philadelphia was a tough place in the '70s for middleweights. You know what I mean? Had a lot of good, numerous heavyweights out of there. Only one who came out the dust and got a world title was Marvin Hagler. He ain't from Philadelphia, but he fought in that Philly circuit. You know what I mean? And Boogaloo Watts. You know what I mean? Good fighters from the '70s middleweight era out there in Philly. And that's why I have a soft heart for the man Jesse Hart. You know what I mean? His pops Eugene Cyclone Hart, a very hard puncher. You know what I mean? Guy could crack. And this fight will be interesting. You know what I'm saying? Two big super middleweights, 6'2". I believe the man Jesse Hart 6'3" and 77-inch reach, 77 and a half inch reach, as opposed to Gilberto Ramirez 6'2" and a half, 75-inch reach. I didn't even know that the man Gilberto Ramirez is shorter than Jesse Hart, because basically Ramirez towers over every fighter he fights. You know what I mean? But Jesse Hart is also a tough dude. If the man Jesse Hart is from a tough city of Philadelphia, how about the man Zurdo Ramirez, man from Sinaloa, Mexico, drug cartels and all that over there. Fellas get beheaded, people get shot, killed for less than $1 over there. You know what I mean? So Gilberto Ramirez told his story. You know what I'm saying? What it was like growing up over there in Sinaloa, in Mexico, and talking about how the cartel violence that surrounded him and why he took up boxing. You know what I mean? So these are two fighters I like. You know what I'm saying? And one thing about Gilberto Ramirez, he's a kind of fighter who when I first used to see him on top rank cards, big Mexican coming in. You know, you don't really see too many Mexicans at this weight class. Excuse me, super middleweight. You know what I mean? I'd see him coming in there with his big hat. He's a southpaw, his big cowboy hat. But the thing about Zurdo Ramirez, he was a pure boxer when I used to see him. And it's not like he can't do that now. But he was a guy who'd fight beyond his jab, drop that 1-2 left hand. He rips you with body shots. But he's also a guy who could slug it out. You know what I mean? And the man, I think Zurdo Ramirez is a better overall boxer than Jesse Hart, really and truly. You know what I'm saying? I think he is. Jesse Hart has heart, no question about it. You know what I mean? But I think the skill technique and it favors the man Gilberto Ramirez. You know what I mean? I think Gilberto Ramirez, his keys to victory will be, you know, trying to make the man Jesse Hart fight. You know what I'm saying? Try to get him involved in exchanges. That's exactly how he dropped him in round two of their first fight. You know what I'm saying? And hurt him bad in round four. Had him wobbling all over the place. You know what I mean? Jesse Hart did show a tremendous he showed tremendous amount of um, resilience in the second half of the fight. You know what I'm saying? But Jesse Hart technique, in my opinion, you know, he leaves himself too open. You know what I'm saying? He's the kind of guy who pulls out of his punches. You know what I mean? And that's how he gets clipped. You know what I'm saying? With his chin all up in the sky. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes he's trying to, he's trying to get out the way of punches. Um, but Judah Ramirez caught him actually while he was pulling out, right hook, left uppercut, and it was He went down in round two. You know what I mean? I see Zurdo Ramirez. He has a better inside game. He has a better outside game. I think both guys can hurt each other, no question about it. You know what I mean? Although I've yet to see, excuse me, Zurdo Ramirez on the canvas hurt. You know, like I have seen Jesse Hart. You know what I mean? Both guys have fought absolutely nobodies since their first fight. So I can't really say or sit here in front like I've seen improvements in either fighter, you know what I mean? So going based on what happened in the first fight, Jesse Hart was also not circling in the right direction, you know what I'm saying? Him being the right-handed fighter, he should be circling to his left, you know what I'm saying? Trying to battle with that foot position, you know what I mean? And he has a straight right hand down the pipe. If he has great foot position, and I think the man could he could actually get on the inside and drop that right hand. You know what I'm saying? Speaking about it, I think the man Jesse Hart, he'll have to unleash that right hand. You know what I'm saying? If he does get in exchanges, he's gonna have to keep his left hand up too. You know what I mean? That's one thing Jesse Hart, when he does throw punches, he doesn't have his right or left hand. You know what I'm saying? His right hand covering his face, you know what I mean? Or, holding it to your ear like a telephone, holding your right hand. You know what I'm saying? And he pulls out too much, whether it's to the body or to the head, and those are instances where he can get caught. And I don't see him improving on that, you know what I mean? I think Gilberto Ramirez won the full position the last time, only because Jesse Hart wasn't vying for position like he should, you know what I mean? And when they got on the inside, just Ramirez was ripping the guy with body shots, and I see him doing the same thing. I see him just just basically throwing more leather. You know what I'm saying? His jab wasn't percolating like that, but he was more on his power shots in the first fight. You know what I mean? So the jab could be a factor, could be not, but at the end of the day, he is a shorter fighter with the shorter reach. So he's really trying to get on the inside. You know what I'm saying? Trying to throw lead left hands. You know what I'm saying? Throwing the jab, throwing right hooks to the head, and Jesse Hart in the first half of that fight, he wasn't really holding. In the second half of the fight, he started to clinch. You know what I'm saying? When he seen that the man Zurdo Ramirez was closing the distance. Zurdo Ramirez has long arms. You know what I mean? And he throws whipping left hooks and right hooks around the guard of opponents. But to me, his body shot game is where he has a lot of success breaking down opponents. But a guy like Jesse Hart, in my opinion, he needs to let his hands go. He has to make Zurdo Ramirez be the defensive fighter, you know what I mean? Rather than Jesse Hart, how he was the defensive fighter, always backing up and, trying to use his legs, but not in, I don't want to say he was running, but it wasn't no effective aggression, you know what I mean? Jesse Hart was more backpedaling than circling to his left, you know what I'm saying, and trying to gain that foot position. And I think if he stands in the pocket with the guy, you know what I'm saying, in instances on some in and out shit, you know what I mean, not dwell there the whole time because, like I said, in an exchange, I don't trust Jesse Hart's chin compared to Zurdo Ramirez, you know what I mean? Overall, it's a very good fight. I'm looking forward to it. I think Jesse Hart has a chance to win. I would probably say this is a 60-40 fight in favor of Zurdo Ramirez, the champion. And I just think that Zurdo Ramirez will probably win this fight, a close split decision. You know what I mean? I think Jesse Hart will compete, make it closer than the first fight. You know what I mean? Although the first fight wasn't a wash, I'm trying to tell you, he came back in the second half to win some rounds. But ultimately, you know what I mean? He was down a lot of rounds in the first half, But Jesse Hart will need to sit more on his punches, throw more combinations, not always be tucking in and being on the defensive guard while Zudo's letting his hands go. He's going to have to let his hands go as well. Throw some uppercuts that he caught him with. And, he has to use his jab in that 1-2. He has a longer reach and he's a taller fighter, you know what I mean? One thing about his jab, though, it's not the best, prettiest jab I've seen in boxing. His jab is a pulling out jab. It's basically just to throw it and just back out. and just backpedal out. You know what I'm saying? It's not a stiff jab that he's sitting on, and that's why he can get caught pulling out. You know what I'm saying? I think if he does have a more respectable, honest jab, then Zurdo Ramirez will have to respect it. You know what I mean? And he's just going and he'd have to throw that right hand behind it. But overall, the power punches are going to favor the man Zurdo Ramirez. You know what I mean? Like I said, he's almost always taller than every opponent. But against Jesse Hart, he's finally the smaller, shorter guy. Not by much, but he has a shorter reach and he's shorter in height. And that hence the reason why he's going to throw, like he did in the first fight, numerous power punches. And it's up to Jesse Hart to offset that. So that's my prediction. Big ups to my man AP. He actually reminded me of this fight. Very good fight, man. I'm not too sure where it's gonna be, you know what I mean? Hopefully it'll be in Philadelphia, man, you know what I'm saying? So Jesse Hart could get get a at least get a home crowd advantage, you know what I'm saying, over there in Philly. But it is what it is. I got the man Zurdo Ramirez retaining his belt, remaining undefeated, and winning by a split decision. Be Marsh Boxer, leave your thoughts and comments. I'm out of here. Peace.